Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman by heading over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Guys, hey, I just want to say last time we all spoke together was during a Best Bad Movie Ever.
It was,
That's correct.
Yeah, it's really good to hear from you guys.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, that was What Dreams May Come, right?
Yeah.
A movie I have not checked up on that movie since.
You're fine.
I haven't
What was
looked
that,
in
like
to see how that movie's getting by.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like, what, 7 years since we recorded that?
At least,
right.
Yeah, it was roughly,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been checking the Google stats, and huge spike ever since the podcast, and yeah, people checking out the movie.
We put that movie on the map.
Really
It
did.
really did, yeah.
Yeah. They needed it, you know?
A lot of people thought it was Cuba's Oscar. Nope, it was us.
Yeah.
It was us that made people notice that movie.
93%, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so do we just?
Yeah,
I mean, this is the show.
yeah.
I was gonna say we take a second to shake it off and start going, or
I mean, we're probably going to include a lot of this. We just usually bullshit right up until I do the intro, which is our welcome to the episode of Hypecast.
Hypecast!
fuck you.
The show where we get hyped about stuff and or things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I am your other co-host, David Bell.
I'm a person here that's named Jamie French.
Hey!
Hi, Jamie.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Ooh, I'm
Going
good.
pretty well.
I'm good. How are you?
I gotta say, we usually clown our way through the guest introduction, but you nailed it.
Yes, you knew what to do, and you did it.
You know, I've been studying the podcast. I really have. No, I got to tell you, I'm actually kind of sad, Tom, because I'm coming to the end run of Tom and Jeff Watch Batman.
Oh, of the animated series.
Of the whole bit. I've really burned through them.
Oh wow.
Well, I signed up as a patron about a month ago.
Oh
wow.
And
thank you.
I've totally I fucking blew my wad on the Fox Mulder podcast, which is amazing. Loved it. But now
Thanks.
it's just me and the fucking Batman podcast, and I'm just about done, and it's sad.
Well, we'll make more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn well better. That's
They're not done
$5 a
forever.
month, man. I want my fucking money's worth.
Yeah, the good news is that there's so much Batman, Jeff and I will literally be doing the show until the sun crashes into the earth.
Forever.
Or vice versa.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to watching Batman every week until I die.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, Tom, you were going to do that either way.
Probably. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair to say.
Oh, hey, before we start to actually get into anything, can I just, on the chance that Michael Swain may be listening to this?
He's always listening.
Yeah.
A couple episodes ago, it might be last episode, depending on when this comes out, he made a They Might Be Giants reference just a short while ago for a song called No One Knows My Plan, and it landed with a thud, an audible thud. And I just want to let him know, Michael, if you're listening, I had fucking devil horns up. I was like, fuck yeah, it's my favorite band. Fantastic song. You know, your reference has not been wasted.
I'm sure he will be. Yeah, he will be very excited to hear that.
Yeah.
In fact, he might even be in the room right now. I don't know.
Jeez,
I don't know.
he
Again,
flips.
he's always listening.
He's always there.
It never
He's always there.
3 a.m. You never ever want to turn around. Bam, Swaim.
Yep.
Right.
Never know. He's right there, behind a shower
Oh, yeah.
curtain. I don't know.
Don't look up.
Yeah. Oh, geez, Dave.
What
Dave,
is it, Tom?
We've got some producers that we should.
Yeah,
name.
I moved around the producers a little bit because we were getting a little top heavy.
We were. Yeah, that's true.
And we got a couple new ones. This one the name is pending, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to thank them now, which is new producer Robert Sealand.
Woo!
Thank you, Robert. I wonder if it's any affiliation with the Principality of Sealand,
Yeah.
the country.
Or if
that,
perhaps he is at war with Earthsea.
Right. No, it could go either way.
Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to getting to the bottom of this mystery.
See, from the UK? Or Sealand, I'm sorry.
Sealand's off the coast of the UK.
That's why that's what I'm wondering.
It's technically not the UK. It's its own
It's its own
country
principality.
Of course.
where anything goes. Anything goes on Sealand.
You know what? I think it's a safe bet to just assume that he is.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll just
Yeah.
assume that he is.
Nice. We got the country of Sealand on our side. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Finally.
Another thank you to Exploding Runes,
Woo!
which Tom, is that a reference you understand?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, they overestimated our nerdiness. I have been
Yeah,
told
I was
that
going to
it's
say, sounds like some nerd shit.
it's a D&D reference.
I already don't like him.
Okay. I was gonna say it might be a Diablo reference, but I was close.
Okay. But thank you, Exploding Runes.
Yes.
Sorry we don't get the reference. I guess I don't know. We're not nerdy enough.
Like a monk thing, or I don't know.
I don't know. I could Google it right now. And I'm
No,
not gonna.
don't do that.
Okay. Also, thank you to Law Donger, PI, private investigator. Thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah.
Also, thank you to Andrew, quote, Andrew Howe, unquote, Howe.
Nice.
Thank you, Andrew.
Big
How,
thanks. Big thanks, Andrew. How.
Yeah. Also, thank you to Asking Seven. I have no idea what that's a reference to.
Oh, I don't know.
I want to know. Message me.
Put it there with Exploding Runes. We can.
Also, thank you to Vincent.
Yeah.
Vincent the Vampire.
Vincent the Vampire.
I'm looking at it. Vincent with a Y. Vincent with a Y.
Yeah.
V-Y.
It screams vampire.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big offer. Spelling your name with a Y like that, Vincent.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think
it's a bold
Vincent,
move.
Yeah.
Vincent never said that they were a vampire.
But they never
when
said that they weren't.
Well, I think
Yeah,
it's-
exactly.
I
It
think-
was just assumed by this name.
I think with the Y, it's implied.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. Fair to assume.
Yeah, it's the same as having like a pair of Dracula fangs or a bat on your driver's license. You're telling us, but you're not telling us.
You know, if you
On your
pop,
driver's
Right.
license.
Yeah.
right, it's like when you pop your collar, you're low key telling people that there's something vampiric about you.
Yeah, you're at least testing the waters.
All right,
You're letting people know that you're at least 200 years old.
at least, at the very least,
Okay, I'll pick it up here. Thanks to RevMD.
a medical doctor.
Doctor,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, very
And
nice.
possibly a reverend? I don't know.
Yeah, and also could be a vampire. Everybody could be a
Everyone
vampire.
on this list could be a vampire.
We don't know.
He's wearing two very heavy hats,
Yeah.
a reverend
yeah.
and a doctor.
One of them is a really tall Pope hat. Next is thank you to Dracula the bus driving vampire.
Woo.
Thank you, Count.
Almost certainly a vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah, special thanks to HP Love Shaft.
Thank you, HP.
Never get tired of that name.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you to John Munez.
Hey,
Thank you, JM.
And thank you to Captain Toenail.
Gross.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Captain.
Now, Jamie, you want to grab the last couple of names here?
Yeah, sure. We also have Wavy Ranchero. Well, should I say that with a little bit of roll on the R? Wavy Rancheros.
Nice.
Thank you, Wavy.
that
We
works.
also have another doctor. Wow, Dr. Kitty MD. So Dr.
Yeah.
Kitty Doctor.
Yeah, a whole
Dr. Kitty
we have-
Doctor, yeah.
we have the medical community is really into us.
Yeah.
We also, and thank you very much. We also have Mr. DNA. Yeah, all caps DNA.
Oh yeah,
Very
Mr. D&E.
bold. Yeah.
which I mean, it's probably a Jurassic Park reference, but maybe it's Mr. Blood and it's another vampire.
That's true, yeah.
You know what? I sense a theme.
Yeah.
We also have. Okay. I want to make sure I say this right. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to pronounce this. Lauren Cucci? Well, it says right there on the notes.
Yeah.
It says, God damn it, Lauren Gucci. Sorry,
Yeah.
Lauren. Lauren, we love
funny.
you. We always have.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren.
We've struggled with this name on a couple of episodes.
Yeah, that's why I specifically put in pronounced like Gucci.
Yeah.
I don't have time to read ahead. My time's
know,
very
I
valuable.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and thank you guys.
Yes.
I moved a lot of you to the next section, so don't get stressed out.
Stay
If you didn't
tuned.
hear your name yet.
It's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. Good God. Calm down.
Yeah, I think we should probably get into the trailers now. What do you think?
Yeah, we can probably get into the
Must-
trailers,
Yeah, let's
I
do that.
guess.
Jeez. Okay.
The first one is first of all, this week is like the opposite of last week. Last week was like we were pummeled by news. I think the Tenet trailer came out.
Yeah.
We had heard about the Zack Snyder cut that was coming out.
Yep.
This week has been a more subdued, and so in a way, a lot of these trailers are kind of movies that deserve more hype.
Yeah, these are all very small movies, except
they
for the Disney one.
Except for the Disney one. But
We'll get there.
Yeah, we're
let's
going to
start-
talk about that Disney one.
yeah. Let's start with this first one for Alive.
Alive.
Yeah.
This is a zombie movie. Is this South Korean?
I'm
It is.
not sure.
No, I think it is. And my first impression, please, people, go watch the trailer for this, Alive. It's new. It should pull up right away. My first impression was that for Shaun of the Dead remake, this doesn't seem like it was going to be very funny.
Yeah. It's I mean, was Train to Busan, that was also South Korean, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've been kind of like Train to Busan killed it with the zombie genre. So I'm wondering if this country, they're just like, let's do it. Let's do zombies now. Everybody else is kind of like stopped. And it's very like, and then Peninsula, that trailer, like I never thought I would be reinvigorated by zombie movies.
Yeah, they are pretty overdone, but Peninsula
look
looks
rad.
good. This one looks like, from what my trailer didn't have English subtitles. It had subtitles, but
yeah.
they were also Korean, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, it did. It looked very kinetic. It looked like it, keep your eye occupied, but it did look like a zombie movie. I didn't see what was like standoutish about it, maybe.
Yeah,
I like the idea that it seems like it's just like someone trying to, it's like about someone trying to move in with somebody else.
Yeah, it seems to take
And
place
that's
in
it?
it seems to take place in one like apartment complex,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. But it's
I like the
it's
look of the
very I mean
zombies.
it is I mean of course that's like the original zombie movie, that's Night of the Living Dead, where everybody's just in a house.
Right, that's true.
But-
Yeah, it is sort of like the ultimate or the original zombie plot, which is just that, like, what are we going to do about these zombies? Like that's kind of enough drama for the zombie genre, I guess. I don't know. There's something about this. Maybe it's the look of the zombies. I don't know what it is that stuck out to me, but it looked rad.
Yeah, I don't know, just because I'm so
Specifically rad.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll check it out immediately because I'm sort of exhausted on zombie movies, but
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. There's a whole bevy of horror movies that kind of sit over this one. I'd have to get down a much larger list before I land on this one, but
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, no, I totally agree.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I mean, for people that are listening, please go check out the trailer. See what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Crack did an article about this a long time ago. The idea that the zombie genre comes in waves, and like we really haven't stopped.
Oh, much like
since
zombies.
like Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It ebbs and flows. Like we sort of get sick of it and then we do it again. And I'm wondering if we're ready. Did we ever stop? It felt like we stopped.
Well,
right?
I mean, wasn't the height of it like around 2008-ish?
I feel
Like,
like
has-
that's
Feels right.
true.
Like, I think people, like, it was at the height around 2008, and you started seeing articles about how it was starting to be overplayed, and they put out the, like, zombie survival handbook and, like, all around that area, like, that time.
Yeah,
Right.
that was I think that was slightly earlier, but that was Max Brooks, who also wrote World War Z.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
yeah.
I feel like World War Z, the movie, killed it. Everybody was like,
I
"Oh,
feel
okay,
like,
we're done."
I feel like The Walking Dead killed it, but that's a whole conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, which only came out, 2010, right?
2009 or 2010, right around
Yeah.
there. And I remember being pretty jazzed about that first season, and then
And I think everybody was, and that's the general consensus. It's like just a hate watch from season 2 on.
right. That's all I hear from people who actually watch The Walking Dead is that they're just furious watching it.
I think I was one of the last holdouts. I got as far as the introduction of Negan.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I got as far as like a couple episodes into that season after Negan's introduction. And then it wasn't like a conscious effort. It wasn't like fuck this show. I just like sort of forgot it existed, and one day was like, "Oh, wasn't I watching that? I guess not." And that was that. It's so much. There's so much,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think
and they're in the woods for all of it.
yeah, well, that's the thing. The show kind of rides at a steady 6 for like 90% of the show, the seasons, the episodes, and you get like these spikes of 10s, like every so often. But it's just enough not to like have people ignore it. It's just like hope baiting you. Hey, is something going to happen? You know,
Exactly. It's the hope that something will happen. That's exactly it. Like it's like a soap opera.
Well, the thing
at
is,
this point.
yeah, it's novel enough to where like it lends a kind of escapism that, like, it's totally the kind of thing that you could put on late at night and you have nothing else to do and just kind of let it run like a meandering podcast.
Exactly.
And it's just like it's like low level non-committal comfort food, and then something happens if you're lucky, and then that like kind of resets and you're like, okay, I'll keep watching for another 8 years before another thing happens without really paying too much attention, because it's just like relatively interesting background noise.
Yeah, and that's more than fair for people watching it, you know? Like, I get it. But yeah, it is still kind of shocking it's still around. Like, it is still around, right? Like, there could be
it is.
new episodes, like, right now, for all I know.
No, they're still making them.
Well, yeah,
That's messed up.
I think the lead in that show signed up to do a couple of movies to play himself out of the role, and I think that's kind of where it stands right now. I think I think I could be completely wrong, but I think there's there's obviously a production hold on everything, but I think there's a production hold on the show itself so they can knock some of these movies out of the way. I think I think they're actually trying to wrap it up.
Oh, okay. It really gave me soap opera like vibes, because I know that there's like characters who start on the show that's nowhere near the show anymore.
Right.
Where it's like there's like generations of cast now.
Oh yeah.
It feels like, and it could go on for 50 years. Like it really could. Like they could just be maintaining the show and just keep switching, like swapping characters in and out.
It's been known to happen. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should get to the next.
I mean,
Next one.
one more. You could technically call The Walking Dead One Life to Live. All right.
Fuck you.
You could though. It's true. It's true. Our next trailer is for I May Destroy You.
Yeah.
I'm moving off of that.
I don't have notes for this one because I literally found this to be the most interesting one. Like I don't have any pithy comment about it. What do you guys think?
No, this is the one I'm the most hyped about.
Yeah.
It's HBO, but it says HBO Presents.
Yeah, it's a British series
Yeah.
that I think they're just presenting.
I don't know. They did a good job because the trailer doesn't quite let you in on what the plot is, but enough to want to watch it.
Yeah, it's about a black woman who gets assaulted and doesn't, like, she has to piece together that's what happened and then sort of becomes an activist. That's
the thing. There's like this, right away you get the sense of a built-in mystery, which is immediately compelling, you know? But then the trailer itself, like, it seems like very front-loaded, and as the trailer keeps going, it just dissolves, and you're like, what the fuck is this show about? And everybody looks interesting, and it has that kind of cool, like, English veneer, which kind of gives it, like, quality points.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that
may not be true at all, but there's something about, like, productions from the UK. It's like, hey, now wait a minute, something from the UK, it might be good.
Yeah, I do think, like, on average, they're better, right? Like, maybe that's just because I was born in America and, like,
more
I'm
hits than misses.
Sick of TV here. Yeah,
Yeah.
But it does feel like they have a better quality of entertainment, at least when it comes to TV. So yeah, it's like there's a weird automatic level of credibility of like, oh,
yeah.
they're speaking British.
They're speaking British.
Yeah, that's a point. Adding a point right there. Yeah, and then it helps the show looks good.
Yeah, Tom, any thoughts about it?
No, just that it looks really good.
Open your mind to us, Tom.
I think the more and more we talk about trailers, maybe the less good the thing is. I think the less we talk about a trailer is probably going to be a hit.
I mean, that's the story of this podcast. Is we're essentially taking 2 or 3 minute videos and just like, really dragging it on the concrete and taking it apart and like seeing what's there.
Really rambling about it.
Yeah.
The star of this did a previous series called Chewing Gum.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Michaela
think they say
Cole
from
is
the
her
creator
name.
of that.
Yes,
or
yeah,
something.
they do.
Yeah.
To any notable acclaim? I mean, was it a good series or show?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
I've not seen it, but
I know that the lead has a very interesting look.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like cool to look at. It's like I want to see more people like that on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of charisma here too.
Yeah,
that's part of it.
Yeah,
is that it's kind of quirky, it's kind of funny in some parts of the trailer.
Yeah,
so it's got a lot going for it because it also seems kind of trippy and surreal. Like she's suffering a head injury, so like everything's kind of weird and off, at least for the beginning of the trailer.
Right.
I don't know. There's a lot here. This is definitely the most exciting trailer I've seen this week.
Yeah, I'd say probably any of the trailers, for those that are listening, go check out this one, I May Destroy You. See what you think.
Yeah,
it looks really good.
Yeah.
Do
we want to talk about the second most exciting trailer?
Jesus Christ.
The Secret Society of Second Born Royals.
Yep.
I think I watched this trailer twice. I don't remember it.
Why would you do that?
It's a fever dream.
Oh man, this is a Disney Plus original movie, and it's some real horse shit.
I got maybe 5 seconds in, and it starts with a kind of a voiceover, like a narration kind of deal, and I immediately was turned off because it was that like very forceful, sassy, young Disney ingenue kind of voice. Like whoever's narrating this was the lead in this show, and you could tell she's like fresh off the heels of the fucking Mickey Mouse Club, and this is probably her first movie, and it was just like, I hate this already.
And it's also the fact that the thing that she's saying is like, I'm a princess, but my sister was going to be the queen. I guess there's just no place for me. And it's like immediately,
I know, poor kid. Poor kid.
Well, not only this, I think this is like a very cynical like Disney ploy, because Disney movies are all about like the Disney princess, the alpha. Here's a story about the alpha. Oh, you know what? There's an untapped market of second-born children, and let's make them feel like they have a story to relate to. And it's like it's the whole thing made me feel icky. I was like, everything about this sucks.
I recognize that as being calculated.
Yeah,
and that bothered. That definitely, I was like, yeah, because it's just like, yeah, like you said, it's cynical. But like, instead of making it like, oh, like the younger sister in this house gets to go on an adventure, do something great, they specifically make them all second-born royals.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Like, well, if they were doing,
privileged light.
Yeah.
I think a lot of, like, the Harry Potters and stuff, they have the special kid
It's
thing,
the special kid,
where it's like, if they were doing a specific ripoff of, like, that they're not royals, but they're, like, these are the siblings of the chosen ones, that would be a cool idea. But they aren't doing that. And I know it's not for us. I know it's for kids, but I feel like whatever age group this is for, if I were that age group or when I was that age group, I'd think this is bullshit.
It sounded to me like, hey, do you know how your parents don't quite love you? Did you know that you also have telepathy?
Yeah.
And you have to defend the kingdom.
Yeah, it's all on you.
Yeah, it's like
this movie looks like shit.
Absolute
dog shit.
Any guesses on why they're X-Men? Because they're second-born royals?
No idea. Because they go into like it's anyone of the second-born of anyone with royal blood. Okay, first of all, royal blood is not biological. That is a societal construct. Like,
right, but
that's not
the
like
idea
you're
that,
not
like,
royal in your genes. You fucking assholes.
You know what? No, historically, you kind of are, because you're probably fucking your sister. And
exactly.
Right.
it takes about 2 mutations before the special powers kick in.
There you go. That's why they're mutants. Is because they're all inbred. They're all catastrophically inbred.
The first load of DNA, like that's just like whatever royal blood. That's like, oh yeah, you get a good leader out of that. The second batch of DNA, well that shit's crazy.
Look, you have
and so that's what creates the second-born royal.
Look,
like it always takes 2.
Yeah. You may have 9 too many teeth, but you also have telekinesis.
Yeah, and you're like a shark. You're like like a shark kid.
You may be blind in one eye, but you also have gills.
Yeah.
You know that second thumb? It comes in handy later. It is written.
It is not.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, this looks like superheated space trash.
Yeah.
It's fucking garbage ass movie. Oh my god. Okay, what's the next movie?
Gundala.
Please.
Yeah.
This is a superhero film?
Oh man. When this started, I kind of, my first gut reaction was that I felt sorry for this movie, because it looks like it was made on prosumer equipment with like a generous grant and like a lot of favors. Mm-hmm. It looked like somebody like was 3 years into like a really intense After Effects course. I don't know, like where are you guys coming from for it? Because
it's a martial arts movie, right?
Martial arts superhero movie, and I think it's Indonesian. Yeah, it's Indonesian.
It's Indonesian.
I appreciate this. Like I was thinking of the Jackie Chan movie, The Tuxedo, where the realization, and they're not wrong, is that it's that movie's about Jackie Chan putting on a tuxedo that gives him superpowers. The superpowers just being he's Jackie Chan.
Yes.
And like I appreciate that because it is kind of a superpower to be Jackie Chan and to like know like martial arts is just so cool. I don't mind the idea that it's like you put on the suit, you get bit by a spider or something, and then you know these awesome moves. So it feels like it's just a martial arts movie where they're just like, but it's a superpower that he knows martial arts, and like I'm right there with him. So if this is a good martial arts film, then I'm all for it. The budget, the look of it, I'm not so sure what I'm seeing yet, but I'm curious.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've definitely hit superhero fatigue.
Yeah.
That said, I am interested to see a superhero, like a superhero movie from another country. Like, what's their take on it?
I would too, and I have absolutely no reason to think this, but it's just off of what I saw, and my imagination was saying this is maybe like a. Now I'm being careful with my words because now I really do feel bad for this movie because in my guts I'm thinking this is kind of a try-hard crossover to an American audience, and it like in every respect it might like really fall short.
Oh yeah,
it might.
There's no guarantee this is a good movie.
No, that's not the impression I got at all.
I also I don't know how much they're pushing it. I think this is a fairly indie film.
Yeah,
I don't know. The YouTube video I don't think has many views.
Yeah, I'm getting the the vibe off of it that it's a movie that probably has a lot of heart, but it's like biting off more than it can chew for what it's trying to do. Yeah.
We recently watched Ninja Assassin on one of our Friday nights, and that's kind of that sort of movie where it's like, oh, I see what you're trying to do, and you have some really good ideas, but it's not quite there for, I don't know, budget reasons, or I don't know what reasons, and I can see this being that a little bit, where that was made by the director of V for Vendetta, who's like heavily associated with the Wachowski sisters and all that, so like, it's trying to be kind of Matrix-esque.
Yeah.
And I can see this being heavily inspired by a lot of like martial arts or superhero movies, but not quite having the budget to pull it off.
Right. I think with anything like this that like I can't quite make out and I'm like judging on the visuals alone, it's like anything else. It's going to have to come down to story. But again, a good story seems like a good story is pretty transparent, and usually, not all the time, but usually that is the thing that would show through in the trailer. And it's, and so I don't know if I'll ever get around to it. Is there hype around it? Is anybody like, how did you guys land on picking this as a trailer?
I was doing the doc and I Googled trailers. And this came up.
Excellent.
Same thing every week. It's just, what are trailers this week?
What are the new trailers this week?
That's so fucking fair. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's why
we run a humble operation.
Hey, totally. Hey,
it's sort of when you're doing this weekly, it's like you can't pick and choose based on amounts of hype.
No,
you just say what the heck is out there.
No, and the content's there. You just got to reach out and grab it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know. People should check out this trailer. Yeah. Maybe they're into it. I think it's a niche genre.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This next one I am kind of excited about. Exit Plan.
This was kind of interesting.
Yeah, this is man, this is another one I have one note that will probably just trip on naturally, but this is another one where I was like, oh, this might be good. I don't know that I have a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
This was I was considering this for more hype. Looks like it's about like a guy investigating the death of somebody, and they go to a hotel that I think arranges your death.
They do, yeah. but once you sign the contract, you can't back out. So he's like trapped there, and they're going to kill him.
Right. So this sounds very like premise driven.
Yes.
Which can be dangerous for a movie, because if your movie's based off of a very, very novel idea, it could be really, really hot for a second, and then nobody remembers it. And I'll just say the note that I put down. This looks like it was shot, Scandinavia? Is it? It has that
yeah. I'm not sure.
It has this like really awesome looking like cinematography, especially with the background, the setting, the place where it is. And I noticed that there's a lot of these like movies that take place in like Nordic countries or Scandinavian countries that always get a lot of praise about the way they look, but nobody cares about the movie itself. And it's always lauded with like these accolades of the cinematography. And I'm thinking this might be one of those movies where you remember it just because of how the setting is shot, but maybe not so much the movie itself.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the Fincher version of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Right. It also seems like a vehicle for the lead, Jamie Lannister.
Yeah.
Which, all those guys coming off of Game of Thrones are looking for something to get them into movies. And it looks like, has he been in anything?
He was in movies before.
Is that actually Jamie Lannister?
It is Jamie Lannister with a mustache.
98%, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It is totally Jamie Lannister.
Yeah, the mustache really threw me off.
You didn't notice the metal hand? It was in like 3/4 of the goddamn trailer.
Yeah.
Wow, it so is.
There was this whole part of the trailer where they were playing dominoes, and he slammed the goddamn dominoes. A big old metallic thunk. You didn't?
Yeah. Just this huge gold hand.
I mean, shit, that's enough for me. I'm sold.
Yeah.
On Jamie Lannister.
He had been in some, like you said, he'd been in some Scandinavian thrillers and murder mysteries before Game of Thrones.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. So maybe he's just like, I'll go back to doing these.
I do like a lot of movies coming out of this part of the world. Have you guys seen either The Wave or The Quake?
Ooh. No.
Those are, I thought, really good movies that kind of are guilty of what you're saying, which are they're very beautifully set, but they're Norwegian disaster films.
Oh.
Like Roland Emmerich style disaster films, but what make them kind of great is they're very small scale. So, like, The Wave is about a town in Norway.
Contradiction in terms. Go ahead, please.
Well, what it does is, like, The Wave is about a town in Norway that has earthquake that hits a rock in the lake near them. Yeah. And this has happened. I know this has happened in, like, Alaska once, and it causes a giant tsunami that, takes the whole town, and that's it. That's the whole movie, is this one wave. And how incredibly destructive and dramatic just that is. So it's like shot very much like a Emmerich film, where it's like the scientists like, this is happening. We got, like the naysayers and the scientists trying to warn people, and like the aftermath. But it's just one time. And it makes it really cool.
That actually sounds pretty fascinating. Simplicity in design, because all it takes is one bad thing by which you could like pull apart so much drama and story. Yeah. I can dig on that.
And there's a lot, like The Wave happens, and then there's so much more film after, because it's like, well, now there's an after.
Yeah.
There's people trapped. It's really good. And The Quake is the sequel to it, which is a little cheesy, because it's the same character now being like, there's an earthquake coming.
That kind of ruins
it.
Yeah,
no,
but on
I
its
should
own,
move.
Yeah. It's a different town, but on its own, it's still a good movie. Like, if you don't think of it as a sequel, because it's just them in one building. Not even a tall building, like a medium-sized skyscraper dealing with the aftermath. And that's pretty much it. And that's also good.
It just keeps
so
happening.
They're both very interesting films. Yeah, this one guy keeps having this one fucking guy. I think they relate them because an earthquake causes the wave in the first movie, and he's like a scientist who's specifically looking at
that. Is he a demon?
Is there like a Norwegian version of him looking at the camera and going, "Not again"?
God, I don't think there is, but there should be.
Yeah.
But like the main thing that ties it all together, it's shot beautifully.
Yeah, and it's smaller scale, and there's like it's handled. You know how in Emmerich films, it's like a tidal wave hits New York, and you just see all these little ants getting sucked up in the wave.
Yeah.
Like this is a lot more like about the human experience during this.
It's horrifying.
So
it's like actually,
death matters a little more, and like it's done from a very like personal perspective of the people experiencing it. So it's just like it has the same formula.
Fuck yeah.
But it's just done better.
I'm on board with that. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So check out the trailer to Exit Plan.
Yeah, to experience all the things that we talked about that's not in the trailer.
Yeah. Let's get to our final trailer.
Summerland.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, what do you think about this one?
This is like
also mildly interested. It's like a indie British film about sad people in World War II.
It's like they took a bunch of potpourri and put it in a t-shirt cannon and shot it into my face at point blank, and I'm delighted.
This, like, the impression I got off of this was, this is an American film, right? But
is it?
I'm not sure.
I thought it was an American film that was like shot in England. Is it not? Or is it?
I'll look it up. It could very well be either.
Yeah. Well, it seems like just milquetoast Oscar bait kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is British. It's a British drama film. I guess I'm a real sucker for milquetoast Oscar bait. I talked about this on a previous episode, where like the Philomenas of the world, I love it. I love it when it's like, we're a charming British town and we're having this small scale drama and everybody's quirky.
See,
I eat it right up.
It just seems so cloying to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the moment I'm like, the moment I can say, hey, okay, fuck it, I know what you're going for. I'm out. I was like,
look, you're not wrong.
No. We can't. We can't say that you're wrong.
Yeah. It's the touching.
We can say that you made us watch What Dreams May Come.
You know what? Hey, fuck me to death. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. No. It's everything you're saying is totally valid. It's this reclusive writer who has to take care of this kid during the London Blitz, because I guess that was a thing that they did.
Yeah.
And then she begrudgingly forms a bond with the kid, and then it becomes very clear that he's been told that his father was killed in the war, and now she has to actually be his parent. And yeah, it's very by the numbers. It's everything
it is. Oh,
you said.
But it also has that, if you like, I'd say about like 3/4 of the way through the trailer, there's a scene. So it also has that. This is like a story of acceptance. So they put in that like very prescient like social commentary where the lady reveals that she's a lesbian, and then the kid says, "That's awesome. I like it. I don't care." And she like cries over it, and
he literally says, "That rules."
Which is fine and great, awesome message, absolutely, of course. But it just seemed like, oh, this is so formulaic that you can actually like punch in things that you assume an audience would respond to. This is again like the Disney movie. This is just another one of these films where it seems like we're gonna like hit all of the like the rubrics of what would make today's audience respond.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm reading the production of this was in the towns of Seaford, Brighton, and Kent.
Oh.
Which, I don't know, England. Tone it down.
I do, because my girlfriend's from England, and Brighton is in the south. It's actually the south coast of England. And Kent and the other one, I don't know. Fuck all. I don't know.
Oh. I've only been to northern England. I've been to London, and I've been to
so London, the middle
Camden
of England,
Town?
and you say you've been north?
And then I went up for a punk festival up in, I think, Camden Town is what it was called. Okay. And man, they Camden Town. They have a great boardwalk, and it's really fucking not Camden Town. Sorry, Camden Town's in London. Morecambe. Sorry, British people. Morecambe.
I'm gonna have my girlfriend listen to this.
Awesome.
She's gonna fucking judge you. I'm gonna send you notes.
Yeah, Camden Town's an area in London where they all the punks were, but Morecambe, England, was where we went, and it was like it's kind of run down economically, but I really liked it. It was had a boardwalk. It was neat. And then just taking a bus ride through there. It's like one of those things where you go to these towns and they look like they're in the movies, and it's like, God damn it, England. It is just this, huh? Yeah, knock this shit off.
Tone it the fuck down.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's part of it, is that I just like the look.
Mm-hmm.
These charming English towns.
Yeah, I like these provincial English movies.
Yeah, and I'm probably fetishizing them because I'm not from there, so I don't know the meth issues they probably have.
Jesus Christ.
And
Yeah.
So it's just that looks delightful,
And there's just enough of a heart squeezing, a warm tale to yeah. So this is like a comfort food genre for you.
Yeah, it's like morphine. It's great.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say meatloaf, but if you want to go that far, that's fine.
Morphine. It's like you take morphine, you put it in meatloaf.
You just squirt it in meatloaf.
Yeah, meat fiend. Meat fiend. Sure.
Yeah, morph loaf.
Morph loaf. I like morph loaf.
Morph loaf. That sounds like an awesome. I don't know what. That sounds like a character name or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the show Gargoyles, there'd be a gargoyle named Morphloaf.
Morphloaf is what Meatloaf would be if he was in Wasp.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a lot of 80 glam. Okay, never mind. This is going off the rails, fellas.
Yeah, it's Hypecast.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Well, we can get into news stories.
Yeah,
we finished trailers. We have some more producers to name, such as Bootleson. God, every time,
you
Bootler.
son of a bitch.
Bootleson?
Yes.
Bootleson.
There you go.
Thanks, Boots.
Mm-hmm.
Also, thanks to Grumblebee.
Yeah.
Also, Tux. Good old Tux.
Good old Tux.
Also, Wilsowski. Thank you, Wilsowski. Thank you to Shepard Mulch Diggum.
Woo!
Diggum.
You're wonderful.
Yeah.
And I never get to do, but Norm from Cheers.
Aw.
Thank you.
Norm.
Thanks, George
Thank you,
Wynn.
Norm. Tom, you take over.
I will.
Your turn now.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you to Davey Francis.
Thank you, Davey.
Thanks to Chancy Pants.
Thank you.
Thanks to Space McNulty.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you to Captain Fatstrong.
Fat Strong.
Thank you to Hiram.
Hiram.
And thanks to Oh Great, It's That Guy.
You gotta put some stink on it.
Oh Great, It's That Guy.
There you go. Yeah.
This fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
Jane, you want to take the last couple?
Yeah, we also have Lef, L-E-F, short, sweet, love it. We also have Bob Grenville.
Woo!
Bob Grenville. Hansel.
Hansel?
Nolan Matten.
Thank you, Nolan.
Jesus Christ.
Matten.
Matten.
I think. He was never corrected.
We'll side with Matten.
Yeah.
Joshua Graves. And also we have, to round out the list, we have Andrew McGuire. Andrew McGuire, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody on the list.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
all right, let's get into some fucking news stories. Yeah.
Okay.
We found out who's going to direct the Tom Cruise space movie. And it's Doug Liman.
Doug Liman.
Which
means we're going to see a lot of close-up shaky cam.
Yeah.
So we can't even tell it's in space.
I mean,
nothing against Doug Liman. Yeah. He made Edge of Tomorrow, but like if I were to pick a director to shoot space, not Doug Liman.
It would be Doug Liman.
Yeah. You should come on. Also, his project after the Untitled Tom Cruise in Outer Space project is a remake of Cannonball Run. Which is just kind of, it's just funny to me that it's like business as usual. Just popping into outer space real quick and then going back and doing a
Cannonball Run in space, you coward.
Yeah,
that's the real story.
This is kind of if you two could pick who you would want to be the first director to direct in outer space. Mind you, I don't think Liman is going to space. I assume they're just going to send Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
But and maybe have an astronaut film it. I don't know how it's going to work. But what director would you guys pick for a first director for outer space?
Okay, well, it seems really apparent to me. It would be James Cameron, right? He put himself at the bottom of the ocean. He would be yes. Exactly the kind
James
of producer
Cameron's
that would.
A good pick, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate how right you are, despite
look.
The fact
I don't
that
like it either. I think it's understated the scope of the project. I think. Jesus Christ, outer space. How much does this track for Tom Cruise? You know?
Yeah.
Right.
We're getting to enjoy his midlife crisis right alongside.
Right.
It's great.
This is a man that insists and has constantly insisted on doing his own stunts for 80 years. This is we're watching a man's dopamine deficiency in action every time he's on celluloid, you know? And how you can't I think after this, what does he do? He burns the fuck out. He'll probably shoot himself.
I don't know. He's going to film a movie inside a volcano. I don't know.
You know what? No,
yeah.
fair.
What else is there
yes.
to do?
That's
the presence of. If James Cameron got involved, that would increase the chances Tom Cruise would die.
Right, yeah.
I think. Because James Cameron has almost killed actors before. And Tom Cruise would be right there with him.
Absolutely. That's
He'd
a
be
bonus.
Yeah, get out. Do a spacewalk, Tom Cruise. And he'd be like, yeah, no, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. James Cameron be like, okay, Tom, what if instead of getting on a rocket, we got you into space with this cannon?
Yeah. Put on this helmet.
No helmet. No helmet.
Helmet. That's true.
It specifically states in my contract, no helmets.
Yeah, but purely from a logistical perspective, James Cameron is kind of the director with the most experience in places that are uninhabitable.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's
that's not
the a very distant second is, I would say, Werner Herzog, because he's put himself in weird positions.
He absolutely has.
When you drag a boat over a fucking mountain, you're a distant second from James Cameron, but you're in the running.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really
maiming so many indigenous people in the process.
I just really hope the first movie shot in space, which whatever, but the first movie shot in space isn't just shaky cam.
Oh, of course it's gonna be.
Yeah.
This is not for an audience. This is Tom Cruise jerking off to the nth power.
Yeah.
This is Tom Cruise coming up with an excuse to go to space.
Yeah, which
sure.
I can't fault him for that because Tom Cruise is sort of doing what I would do if I was rich.
If you had
go to space.
If that was in your nature and you had the means to do it, again, where else could he go? This is the logical conclusion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. He is skipping out on Everest and the ocean. He's got a few steps.
There has to be it has to be in front of a camera. That's part of the kink.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. It was inevitable.
Yeah. No, this was always gonna happen. I mean, that's what they're gonna say when Tom Cruise's body is slowly floating away towards Alpha Centauri. Is that this was always gonna happen?
Yeah, and Dr. Lyman's just go like, well, I'm gonna get out of here. So
I'm gonna head out.
I'm gonna head out. So I don't know. No one speak of this again. Frozen body just drifting
just floating away like Tim Robbins in Mission to Mars.
Yeah, no, not fast too. It'll be like it'll be like
slow.
People like amateur astronomers can be like, oh, there's Tom Cruise out there.
If it's on a clear sky, you can see Tom Cruise in orbit.
Yeah.
This is when the aliens will come. Because as soon as like Tom Cruise is out in their domain, bam, they're gonna want autographs, the whole bit.
Right.
Yeah. A bunch of gleep glorps show up to harangue Tom Cruise.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great movie.
Yeah, it's in the best movie of all time.
We don't even know what the movie's about. Like this is.
It might be.
It's cool, but like
there's a legit theory on what it might be, and it's a project that Doug Liman's been trying to get off the ground for a while about a heist on the moon. So it might be that.
What's going to happen is Tom Cruise is going to die out there. It's going to be the last film he ever made, and they're going to fill in the last 35% of the film with CGI Tom Cruise. And it's going to fly. Everybody will be cool with it.
Yeah, they're going to Brandon Lee his ass.
Yeah. Oh, man. There's... I don't know anymore. Let it happen. I don't care.
Yeah.
Let this movie happen.
Whatever.
It's fine.
Just let me watch it.
Yeah. I'll see him. I'll fast forward him floating around in space, and I'll be like, neat.
Yeah, cool.
And then
He's
he'll
really
be like,
in space there. That's neat.
It's time to heist the moon. And I'm like, all right. We're done.
It wasn't as good as Gravity, but...
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to be in space to make... I get it.
Kind of underwhelming.
But it's, yeah.
Well, it's like I worry it's going to be... Well, I worry. I assume it's going to be like the two scenes, the underwater scene in Mission Impossible Rogue Nation and the Halo jump from Fallout.
Yeah.
Where there's so much post-production that it doesn't look real.
Right, that they still had to do a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And it probably will be.
Yeah. Because that's what movies are. But it's like, Tom, why do a Halo jump if it still just looks like you're in front of a green screen?
Yeah.
I know the answer to that question.
Yeah, we all know.
Because he wants
to. It's neat, but there's nothing like cinematically important about it, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like the first movie to shoot like with sound and like, or the first movie in color. It's just like kind of a fun milestone that means nothing for cinema.
Right.
And might not result in a very good movie. Or maybe it's a great movie. Who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. Who knows, to be fair. But when you hear about a movie being shot in space, the end conclusion shouldn't just be a resounding meh. And it kind of is. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. All right, Tom Cruise, make the first movie that travels through time. Then I'll perk up.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Maybe, sure. Fuck it.
I don't know if I want Tom Cruise dicking around through time. I don't trust that.
Yeah, we don't need Tom Cruise meddling with the time stream. That
right.
No. We don't know what darkness he'll unleash.
Yeah, I mean, I think we know exactly what he would do. We would all just be Scientologists suddenly, and like, all right, I guess that's fine.
Oh Christ! Do you think this is like? This isn't some kind of crazy attempt for him to get like closer spiritually with his religion.
That was my theory when we first talked about this, is that they're going to get him up there and he's going to open the door and go, "I'm coming, Xenu," and just rush out, and everybody will be like, "Oh, I guess this was just his plan."
Yeah.
Like this is an elaborate plan for him to get into space.
Just imagine being
and like hijack
God damn
the
it,
space
man.
station.
Imagine being that. Imagine being Tom Cruise and just all of reality and all of Earth is your plaything, and you can literally just do any crazy thing your heart desires. You know what?
Yeah, it's a hell of a
I'm
thing.
digging it. Yeah,
That's why
I'm liking
he should
living in this
hijack.
imagination.
I would respect him a lot more if it became not first person to shoot a movie in space, but first space pirate, and he just hijacked the space station and wouldn't come down, and it was just a thing where it's like, yeah, there's Tom Cruise is up there. Watch out for Tom Cruise. He's just in the space station running around.
Hijacks it and insists on just going directly to the moon because he wants a ride in the space buggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
he wants
I
to
wouldn't blame him for
fucking
any
Tom
of this.
Cruise doing donuts on the moon.
Yeah.
You know what? That I'm good with that.
Next story. Scott Derrickson is directing a Labyrinth sequel.
I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I don't like anything about this. What do you guys think?
I like Scott Derrickson, but other than that,
I've been like beaten down by movies, so I'm like, at least it isn't a remake. Like, I guess a sequel.
Low bar, bro. Low bar.
I don't know.
it's an extremely low bar, but
I do like Scott Derrickson. I do like him as a director. And it was inevitable. So I don't know. It doesn't change the original.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Every movies exist forever. Like that's why I can watch all the Jaws sequels and it doesn't bother me because it's like, well, the first one still exists and it's perfect. So these things can't touch it.
No.
Right,
Yeah, we don't even have to pay attention to that dumb argument. You killed my childhood bullshit. That's
exactly
Right.
It's like fucking bull. It's like no, it's not.
We can still
totally
cherish.
Asshole.
We can cherish the original movie about David Bowie preying on a teenager with the help of Muppets.
I just think when you have a cult film like Labyrinth, it's one of those things where it's cult because there is a kind of deal like it's lightning in a bottle, and it existed in its own time, and you can't really duplicate it or replicate it, and so I guess it's one of those things where I'm on the fence where I'm like, just I see what it's like when it comes out because it's too stupid to have an opinion about it before it comes out, obviously.
Right.
That's the other thing is after the Blade Runner sequel, it's like, well, anything's possible.
But then there's also the opposite side because, look, if you're talking about Labyrinth, you're also and you have fond memories, then you also have fond memories of The Dark Crystal. And they did a whole sequel to The Dark Crystal. Did you guys see that?
No, the Netflix series?
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah, not so great.
Really? It got surprisingly good reviews.
Well, I mean, now, Dave, I don't know your age, but Tom, just from listening to podcasts, I have like a relative feel for your age. As a kid, you grew up with the Dark Crystal, right?
Yeah, it scared the shit out of
me. Absolutely.
I'm the same age, but I never really watched it.
Oh, okay.
I've watched Labyrinth. I don't know. It just sort of passed me by. I don't have as much nostalgia for it. I guess.
And yeah, absolutely. But just to kind of skip to the punchline here, to put a bow on it. So, Tom, do you like have those same kind of feelings about the Dark Crystal that you had about Labyrinth? Because I'm sure you watched Labyrinth.
I watched Labyrinth when I was older.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, I missed it when it came out. I had seen the Dark Crystal as a little kid. So the Dark Crystal existed in my mind, not in a necessarily like a nostalgic space. It was like it existed in a space of movies that was like this. I remember this movie looked really cool and it scared the shit out of me.
Okay, well, to get right to it, so that we can get to the next part, the Dark Crystal, the original, it as a concept, it really worked. Like if you watch it as an adult, just out of the blue, you probably won't be so impressed with it. But again, as a lightning in a bottle concept, if you were at an impressionable age when it came out, it really worked because it was scary looking. And it was scary looking because they played a lot, like on a production end, they played a lot more with shadows. Jim Henson's puppet company, when they do like realistic puppets, they really work on screen under like very dramatic contrast, and that can really like sell the scary vibes or even the emotional vibes of a story that wasn't really great in and of itself, but was an amazing kind of like just fantasy, like escapism, you know, just a thing to like bewilder you. When they did these new ones, the Dark Crystal, they were so like their heart was in the right place, but
it must have been the same.
It absolutely
company,
was. Right? It absolutely was, but they overlit it, and they used they underutilized or sometimes overutilized the like CGI, and they made like and the I guess the thing is the story itself was even much more lackluster than the story from the original, which is why the original film became a cult film. It was never a hit. It didn't make any money, but it was so awesome to look at and so amazing, like in the eyes of a child. This new one, they didn't even like. It's such a bad story, and the dialogue is so bad, and they were so proud of all the technical accomplishments that they did the one thing that the original had going for it, and that was utilizing shadow opposed to lighting and showing all of the everything. And like literally that's what the original Dark Crystal, like its charm was. It's the darkness, it's the scariness with these Jim Henson like realistic looking puppets with a lackluster story. And if you look into the history and the making of the original Dark Crystal, oh Jesus Christ, it's I can't imagine a worse production hell than what Jim Henson went through trying to create that movie.
That's kind of one of my favorite things about the Jim Henson, the older movies, which they do a little bit now, but not as much as that. Not having to, like, not being able to rely on CGI is a lot more interesting to me, and there's a lot more of a craft to it. That said, I don't blame modern productions for using CGI because, you know, why not? It makes everything a lot easier.
Like
on the production.
in the newest Dark Crystal, I mean, they used they were, to their credit, they used CGI in a way to exemplify the puppets. They had like a nice ginger touch, but the thing is, they miss the whole charm of why it sticks out to people of our age that were kids that saw the original, and that was literally the lighting, you know, because the story was lackluster, the production was a mess, and the thing that sold kids, that drove it into our imagination, was how dark and scary it looked. And these new ones, it's like they just assumed that the story was good, and so we'll continue with the story, and the puppets are cool, and the characters are cool, and none of that shit actually mattered. That's not what drove the original into the imaginations of the kids that saw the original. It was literally, stupidly, the puppets being underlit. It like really came down to that, and that was the charm. And you can't replicate that charm because that charm happened on accident. That's why it's lightning in a bottle.
And
so it sucked.
There's a lot of productions, I think of Jaws or anything else, where it's like a lot of it was like them throwing together this thing that can't, like Star Wars is kind of the ultimate, where it feels like as many times as we try to recreate it, it's just like it just sort of doesn't work anymore.
Right.
Not the way it used to.
And so I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with Labyrinth. The only thing that will save it, because that's another one, Jim Henson Production Company. And again, I'm gonna defer to the lighting, because if you go back as an adult and watch Labyrinth now, the songs are kind of cringy. You know, the story is basic, fairy tale story, which is fine and awesome. There's a lot of charm, but it's the visuals that drove into your head, and that's what made it like a cult classic. And I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with this new one. The only thing that could possibly save it is a good story, and we know.
Yeah. They could do something. I don't know. I look to Blade Runner, the sequel, because it's like you can do something that kind of honors the aesthetic, but modernizes it in a way that they're not just doing the same thing.
Well, I do know.
Like if they do something, if they let the director kind of do something creative, and not be constantly thinking about what are the fans going to think, I do think there's something they could do, but I know what you're saying.
Well, it's going to be like the director's going to have a strong vision to rein the Jim Henson Company in. Parsed with
someone
a good
needs
story.
To be in charge. It's the problem with Star Wars again, is that no one's really like, this is what we're doing, and then doing it. It's all like a lot of people like, well, we should have this reference and we should do this. So it depends on the amount of passion that the creator, or the director, or the writer has, that they really have an idea for it, instead of, well, let's do another Labyrinth, let's get somebody.
And true passion, not narcissism or ego. It can't be a George Lucas kind of situation.
Yeah, I do hope they get Gates McFadden back for the choreography. Yeah, Beverly Crusher is the choreographer of Labyrinth.
Wait, I don't know about this. Are you serious?
Yeah. Beverly Crusher from Star Trek TNG, Gates
Holy
McFadden
shit.
was the choreographer for. Yeah, I learned this watching I was watching a behind the scenes special, and then she just shows up with talking to David Bowie, and I'm like, is that Dr. Crusher? I thought I had gotten gotten killed and was in the afterlife, and
Jeez,
everything was mushing together from my subconscious.
Oh my goodness.
So
I say on my end, Jesus Christ, I've gone off on a huge tangent here. But to put a bow on the Labyrinth thing, I think if a guy with a vision can rein in the Jim Henson Production Company and not just make it like an ode to puppetry, and there's a good story involved, there might be some hope for a Labyrinth sequel. Who's to say?
Yeah.
Who's to say?
It's too soon to tell. I do like the director.
Okay. That's absolutely.
So that's a little bit of hope. What isn't hope?
Oh boy.
Oh,
is the next story.
Yeah, this
is the opposite of hope.
This can go straight to hell.
This is Michael Bay producing the first movie shot during
I don't
coronavirus,
understand
which is about
any
coronavirus.
None of this makes sense.
He's shooting it. Yeah, they're shooting it like he's producing it, and it's like they're talking about how it's going to be shot like an indie film, and it's like, yeah, but it's not one.
Yeah.
Don't pull that shit on me. Don't try to be fucking Paranormal Activity produced or made on a big budget. That's. I mean, I was ranting about this before. The coronavirus idea of very rich celebrities acting like they're making grassroots stuff is wearing me down.
Yep.
And so this seems like another one of those.
Yeah,
It's
also,
we're just shooting a...
Fucking nobody wants a movie about coronavirus.
Nobody wants a movie.
Oh my God, this is such...
We're going to get so many.
Yep, we are.
It's going to...
Nobody
Everybody's
wants them.
got a great idea right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what if we... Oh, this genre set during coronavirus. Everybody's going to do one. It's just... It is what it is.
I hate
This
it.
is a real thing that's happening in real time. How dare you predict what it's going to be in 2 years? Which is
it's currently happening.
It's what the gall. How cynical. How...
I mean... The fucking... This
and
is what we do.
And it's real.
That
People
Boston
are
Marathon
dying.
movie.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some real
The
trash.
Boston Marathon Mark Wahlberg movie was greenlit the year that bombing happened. We had 9/11 movies come out like a year after 9/11. It felt like it's just this is what they do,
and
it
there's
never
so
works.
many other things that are quizzical about this. Like, why is somebody at that level fucking around with a Blumhouse production? And
I don't know.
Like, what's the impetus for this? None of this makes sense. It's such a stupid, wrong-headed idea.
Right, but there's no one around them to tell them.
For the sake of entertainment, it's Yep,
it's
trash. Gross. It's fucking gross.
It is. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely gross. I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Let's get used to it.
Yep,
we'll get used to it.
We're gonna get a million of these.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Also, the other thing that just real quick mention.
Please,
the other thing that bugs me is all the sitcoms we're about to see about social distancing.
Jeez. Oh God! All these ready-made quote unquote punchlines that we're gonna have to suffer through.
I get.
Ugh.
Yep.
I get it a little bit, and what I get is that a lot of these productions are like, well, we have to keep. Going,
of course.
And so, like, I get that where they're like, well, I guess this is what's it's about, because how else do we shoot a thing where everybody's Skyping? Right. I think of the movie Searching, and how they could start doing those.
Right.
Or something. Like, they could start doing edit-driven movies and see where that goes. Like, there are other answers than doing a movie just about the situation we're in.
Not every creative production or endeavor can aim to be evergreen. I get it. Sometimes you got to speak about the fucking times, but what's going to happen is it's going to be 90% tired, gross, misguided fucking punchlines that we're going to have to sigh ourselves through, and it just sucks.
Right. There are, like 90% of them are going to be teleconference workplace comedies, and that can go straight to hell.
Yeah. Well, again, I appreciate it more than if these productions were like, screw it, everybody crowd together in this set.
Yeah.
We're doing this, And so it's like, what are they going to do? But it is going to be frustrating on a creative level of seeing, like, I mean, some of them might be good. Some of them might be really good. But it's going to be a lot of misses.
It's going to be a lot of misses, and those that stick out will be like, the novel few, the lightning in a bottle moments. And those will be done by people that have the biggest hearts and the biggest creative brains, doing what they have to do in the time in which they live in order,
Yeah. Even something about it. I mean, I think about, after 9/11, there were a lot of the like, World Trade Center and stuff like that, but then there was like United 93, which was actually like felt like it was by someone who gave a shit. So like it can be done.
Yeah.
It's just that it's going to be done so much that it's going to be like really
be real miserable.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
Certainly not going to be done by Michael Bay. All right. Well, we have some more people to thank.
Yeah, we got a couple more producers to
Yes.
We got Ozzy.
Woo!
Ozzy. Thank you, Ozzy. Thank you to Tom. Quasi-dangerous levels of hype. K.
Woo!
AJ. Thank you to AJ. I never get to do these. Thank you to Sweet Meat.
Sweet Meat.
Sweet Meat. You're delightful. Also delightful is Tip Drizzle. Yeah. Good job, Tip.
Oh, man.
Way to gross everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
And also Frankly Amish.
Thanks,
Thank
Frankly
you,
Amish. Thank you to Mrs. Voitis.
Thank you.
Thanks to the ghost of Dave Thomas haunting us still.
Spooky.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you, Aaron Burr. MVP.
Yeah, thanks to David Knife Boot Hinson,
Knife Boot.
MBA, CPA. And Jamie, you want to grab the last
Absolutely. We also have a Christopher Robert Spart, Esquire. Very fancy.
Thank you.
Mackenzie, quote unquote, righteous hand of the lizard people. Shouting out for the lizard people. Awesome. We also have very, very simple ones. The next three are Chill. Thank you, Chill.
Well, Chill's part
Chill's
of Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Then we have Funky J.
Woo! Funky J.
Bringing the funk. And then, lastly but not leastly, we have a Pie Guy. Pie Guy, what's up?
Thanks,
Thank
Pie
you.
Guy.
Our caboose.
Man. Oh, geez, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave.
What is it?
In these troubled times.
Yeah.
Do you happen to have a movie that deserves more hype?
Yeah, kind of.
All right.
Oh, boy.
It's not technically a movie. It's 50 minutes long. It's going on the horror streaming network Shudder. It was suggested to me a few times, so I was like, I looked at the trailer. It's not for everyone. I think this is out now.
It is.
It's called Blood Machines, and it is technically the plot is it's about two space hunters who are tracking down a machine, and they witness like a mystical thing happen. A ghost comes out of the machine, and they're trying to they chase the woman ghost through space, and it's really just like it's like Fantasia, basically. Like I don't think it has much of a plot. I think it's mainly for getting super high and watching, which I am not against.
It looks dope as shit.
It really like everything I'm saying makes it sound like kind of insufferable, and then you watch the trailer. Like I saw a comparison to Kung Fury, and it's like it really doesn't look like Kung Fury. It's not like ironically funny or anything.
No, I didn't get that vibe at all.
Yeah, no offense to Kung Fury, but I know some people are kind of sick of that. This is like just really beautiful looking, just CGI. One of the reviews put it really well is that it has retro 80s aesthetics, but like not any particular
okay.
aesthetic.
May I cut in? Okay,
yes, please.
Sure.
I have notes on this. So I'm looking at this trailer, and what I'm seeing is a bunch of, and you're right. There's no like seeming plot to this, but what I'm seeing is a lot of visual stimulation, and it's highly predicated on like this like current would-be kind of nostalgia vibe of like the sense of what the 80s were, like this kind of vaporwave look. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where there's
100%.
Where there's a lot of neon and most prominently magenta kind of neon color palettes, and I just wanted to like nudge in and say about that look, that vaporwave look, that's not what the 80s looked like. Tom, you were alive in the 80s, weren't you?
I was, yeah. No, this is actually more like prog rock from the late 70s.
This is
like,
what it actually is. What it actually is this whole vaporwave look. This was literally predicated on one specific graphic off of like a 1980s Trapper Keeper note binder. That's where the whole look comes from. If you remember the 80s, Tom, I do. I was a kid then. You know what the 80s looked like? The 80s looked like the inside of any given Kmart.
Oh, gotta love the Kmarts.
There were no neon lights. There were no grids. There was no magenta glow. The 80s looked like the 70s if you took away avocado and orange, left up a little bit of wood paneling, and then covered everything else.
Lot of wood paneling.
And then covered everything else in like a tone of beige despair. There was nothing to the 80s. It was not a weird, colorful time. It wasn't. That's not what the 80s looked like. And it bugs me. I mean, it bugs me to no end that like this. It's like today's 20-year-olds are getting a completely misinformed idea of what 80s nostalgia is, because this whole vaporwave aesthetic it ain't it.
I do distinctly remember in the 80s chasing a machine ghost through outer space.
That's true. That did happen.
I thought that was a big thing that happened.
We dedicated a lot of resources to it.
Well, yeah, okay.
We had to get
So
that
with
ghost.
my rant out of the way, let's actually talk about what's in this movie, because I think it sounds like it's a bunch of things to look at in sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think that's what it comes down to.
I think it's just like a psychedelic science fiction, maybe kind of with like a heavy metal vibe.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I was going to say it's like a less involved version of heavy metal. Heavy metal for the new ages.
Yeah, which I'm never against. I think this will lead to a good, hopefully lead to a good career.
Except they ain't got John Candy
for this director writer.
That's true. They need to
throw
John Candy in there.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I didn't know John Candy was in heavy metal.
He is absolutely. He's
I
one of
only
the
seen
space
heavy metal
truckers,
once.
yeah.
I wasn't big on heavy metal.
Yep.
Yeah, so I guess people should just get, I don't know, really, 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 really high and watch Blood Machines is my guess. Or not high. I think you'd still enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just it's like a real, I don't know. It's like sci-fi neon psychedelic trip.
I think as a production, it's like very much responding to the modern aesthetic. If you're gonna because it seems like a nostalgia trip. I think that it seems like that's what they're going over, or like going for.
It is. It does. It is evocative of that. Yeah,
it's like, oh hey, Stranger Things, 80s stuff, vaporwave things that are of the 80s. That's a thing we can capitalize on. So let's make that our aesthetic. We'll do the vaporwave aesthetic, and wrap a movie around it. And it's only going to be prescient for this very specific time. I don't think this is going to be a thing that lasts. I think, now I haven't seen the whole film. If the whole film is as quirky and as fun as something like heavy metal was back in the day, this may be another cult classic, but I'm not hanging my hat on it.
I think this more is like a stepping stone for this creator.
It's like it's like a demo reel.
Yeah.
Shit. I had
one
one more thing I wanted to.
Yeah. Hey, can we all watch it together, like through the Discord or whatever? I'd love to join in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
We do movie nights with patrons on Friday. So.
Hey, I'm one of those.
Yeah. You are.
Yeah. This is weird. Tom, do you remember that? Oh, I figured out the name. I wanted to do an update on The Vast of Night.
Yes.
Speaking of sci-fi, that's coming out like today.
Yep.
And I'm extremely excited about.
Yes.
That's like a Area 51 alien throwback 50s movie that I believe is coming out on. Is it going to be available on Amazon? I assume it's available on any streaming service, but I highly recommend people check out the trailer.
It's on Prime Video.
It's on Prime Video. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it is out. Yeah.
And so that's a nice update. That one I'm really excited for.
Hey,
we
real
talked
quick,
about it
as a member of the audience, I don't know anything about this.
Sure.
What is it?
It's kind of like it's a take on War of the Worlds 50s UFO thrillers.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was shot on a micro budget, but in a really creative way. Like there's a lot of talent behind it. It's gotten a lot of good reviews. I think it's kind of a slow burn. I believe it's about just a town in the 50s in Middle America that's getting invaded in New Mexico. That's like dealing with a weird series of events around aliens. And it looks really good. Yeah. And so I would it's called The Vast of Night, and people should check out the trailer if they haven't already.
It's currently sitting at a 93% on Rotten
Currently
Tomatoes,
writing it down, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, 93%.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
With 91 reviews, so it's not nothing.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
I think that's a sode.
That's sode, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we did it. Oh, man. Jamie, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Is there anything you want to plug? Where can people find you? What do you want to tell people about?
Just basic stuff. So go to Twitter. Go to @Jamie_French, and everything that you might want to know about me can be found from there.
Cool.
Okay.
Dave, you want to tell them about what we got going on?
Yeah, I guess. We have a Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have exclusive podcasts on there. Like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, and Fox Mulder is a Maniac.
Fuck yeah!
So you can check those out. You have my permission,
and my humble recommendation. It's an amazing series.
Nice.
Absolutely.
No, thank you.
All right.
We also have a store, tpublic.com/store/gamefullyunemployed, where you can check out T-shirts, stickers, mugs, masks. We have masks.
Nice.
Posters, we got art, all sorts of stuff. You can check it out.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I think that's it. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Hey, goodbye, everybody.
Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, CORLEW, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.